welcome back to the channel. I'm Sandy.
And I'm John.
And we have a really exciting project today, one that we have been talking about for a while. It is time for the iconic Barbie collab. A few months ago, I reached out to Smartdoll Sewing with Joe, Magical Girl Kit Kat, and Beth Ramsden, and asked them if they wanted to do a special project with me centered around Barbie. I played with Barbie until my early teens, and then I collected Barbie all through my 20s.
I've been nagging her to get rid of her Barbies since we met.
How can you get rid of your Barbies? It's so hard.
My position has changed slightly.
So I really wanted to do sort of a tribute to some of the iconic Barbies that have happened since Barbie started over 60 years ago. I thought, wouldn't it be cool to take this size doll and then recreate the outfits for Smartdoll, since we are pretty much a Smartdoll channel. They were all into it. If you want to see what they're working on, Magical Girl Kit Kat chose to look at pink box dolls with a special twist. Smartdoll Sewing with Joe is doing a modern designer recreation. Beth is doing a Hollywood TV Barbie interpretation. The links to their videos will be in the description. I chose Bob Mackie. Bob Mackie has a very, very long history with Barbie. There were so many to choose from, but I chose one that was a doll that I never got because I stopped collecting the year she came out. I chose Madame du Barbie, who is inspired by late 1700s fashion.
Is this normal for Bob Mackie?
He does everything.
Okay.
I mean, he has dressed Cher since Cher was like a household name. I didn't even know this. He dressed Pink for her death-defying performance of Glitter in the Air, the aerial performance she did for the Grammys. Maggie is very known for doing these beaded, embellished creations.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, let's tackle this. Had every intent to do it. All the timbre embroidery by hand. Well, as John would say, I bit off a little more than I could chew.
Let's take
Cooking tonight
And why aren't we cooking tonight?
because we are doing a rebuild of a good chunk of the work that I already did.
All the dress.
I mean,
And it's, what day is it?
It's Tuesday and the video comes out on Friday. I mean, we're not redoing everything. I patterned the whole outfit and I drafted the whole thing and made all the undergarments and everything. And now I am adding embellishments that match all of the machine embroidery that we decided to do. But it's coming out gorgeous and I'm way happier with the result. I wasn't really quite sold on what was happening with the fabric. Now it's looking better. Okay, so here she is.
She's big.
Yeah, and what is it that you call her, John?
Madame du Smarty.
Madame du Smarty. This is actually Zoe, who is our Melody G4 prototype.
Yeah, the first semi-real version of Melody.
Right. She looks like a Barbie. She looks like like the Barbie that I grew up with. She was perfect for this project. But all in the video that you see, I used Kazuko, my smartdoll symphony, because I really don't like to manhandle the prototype. I wasn't gonna keep her in the craft room with me, tearing her arms on and off and doing all kinds of things with her. And Kazuko is kind of my, what is the word, Genki girl?
You can do it!
Yeah, she's got this look on her face that always is saying, keep going, you can do it.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like perfect in the craft room with me. It was all intended for her. The wig, don't worry, this is not a Melody wig. I bought a very cheap wig on Amazon, teased the heck out of it, sewed thread into it, and came up with this sort of eccentric hairstyle. The earrings and the pendant are from Kitten Cat Shop. I reached out to Anna and said, this is what I'm doing, and this is the doll, and this is the earrings I need. And she custom made earrings to go with this outfit at an appropriate size for Smartdoll. They are actually pretty close to the original with just a little bit of extra bling. And then I said, if you have something, a pendant that I can slip onto some ribbon, I'd really appreciate that too. And she found this awesome, large, very Empress-like pendant. So I'm very happy about that. So thank you, Anna. And if you haven't checked out Kitten Cat Shop, make sure that you do. As to the rest of the dress, I believe this is a charmeuse. This is like a poly charmeuse. I got it on Amazon for a little over $3 a yard.
Which is a good thing because we used all of it.
I bought like 3 yards And we used all of it because of remaking the skirt, and then, of course, all of the appliques and figuring that out. To talk about what this dress is a little bit, as I studied it, I realized that what the sequins and beads and everything on the Mackie dress were representing was the way light hits the fabric when it smooshes up. Like when you pick up, you do little pickups on the front of the skirt. So this would all be like where the skirt had been draped in the front to reveal the bottom piece. On the Barbie, there are white lines going down the seams. It's really just an artistic representation of what the fabric actually does and the way light plays with it. We did some of the appliques to create the illusion of the ruffled fabric, but I also created an edge so that you can actually see her petticoat coming out underneath the doll. We added some of the sparkle. I didn't do the whole thing. There were some challenges to this project. It was big. It was bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I added more on top of the big that I didn't really have to do, but I wanted to. Instead of like working on the hero, which was the dress, I made the panniers and the petticoat and the corset and the shift to go underneath.
So there is a whole outfit under here that you're not seeing.
I referenced American Duchess's 18th century dressmaking book, scaled the patterns to the right size for smartdoll, and made a full set of stays with some adaptations. They're not quite perfect.
Sure.
I had to have all that stuff if I was going to make the dress according to their specifications, because everything is centered off of that corset and undergarments. You drape right on the person with all of those undergarments on. It was definitely a lot of time spent. See, the Barbie is actually stiffened with like heavy stabilizer. There's no like undergarment structure supporting the skirt. It's
In
stiff.
fact, the dress itself holds the doll up.
Yeah, and she's sewn into it on the Barbie, by the way. There's no closures. It's completely sewn onto the doll. You're not taking it off. I wanted to be able to have something that we could take on and off the doll. So that was challenge number 1. Even though the American Duchess book is great and I really got a lot out of it.
Needed another month.
I needed another month. Yeah, to do everything, I needed another month. I made shoes as well, which are actually not even on her feet, but you would never know.
I think I told you that at the beginning too. Like, why are you making shoes? No one will see this.
I really wanted to make shoes that went with the outfit. It was so important to me. I made a mold. I used Warbler. I made these awesome fabric covered shoes. They're not being used. So that was my challenge, my time management challenge. And then John's my hero on this project. I get reminded every day, and actually we're coming up on our anniversary, and I get reminded every day how
it's
much...
It's today, by the way. Not today, but as you're watching it, it's today.
I get reminded that, we are much better working together. We're much more powerful as a couple.
I am shocked that we work so well together. We don't always work amazingly well together. We can step on each other's toes, just like any two people can. Mm-hmm. But it was just a lot of trying to figure stuff out, making compromises, just making it work.
John actually took on the embroidery digitizing, basically when you take a vector file from Illustrator and bring it into an embroidery program, and it actually creates the stitches for you, which is what we did for this project.
We also had to make the vector files too, so I was drawing all of the shapes from reference pictures and scaling it up, figuring out what stitches need to be done, getting them all spaced correctly. We learned a lot about embroidery this week.
Yeah, I've done embroidery projects in the past, but it had been so long that I had forgotten a bunch of key things that make the project go smoothly, but we did get it done. The problem is my sewing machine and my embroidery machine are the same machine. The machine was tied up doing embroidery for how many hours?
Probably at least 50.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. That's a lot. My machine clocked a lot of stitches. So many needles. I got hit in the face with one last night, by the way.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
So why did we end up doing so much embroidery?
Originally, my intention was to do machine embroidery appliques and then do all of the sequins and beading by hand on top of it. I just didn't have time.
There was two types of things we did, which I found interesting. Recreating what was on the dress. Here's something we're gonna stick on. Like, here's an applique. At some point, we figured out, why don't we just do the entire stomacher over again as an applique?
So you saw a video of me making the stomacher. A couple days into doing the embroidery, I was like, John, let's just do it in the hoop. You can make an entire stomacher for a smartdoll or any smaller doll in the hoop on the embroidery machine. It finishes the edges and everything, and it's like perfectly sized. And if you use the right stabilizer, it's thick enough. This is the stomacher piece, and I did add a little bead to it, but it's mostly done on the embroidery machine.
So that was the big challenge of trying to, as quickly as possible, replace all the sparkle that we weren't going to get if we didn't do all of those beadings. That was another big challenge, and I guess it's something we learned, but it was learning to deal with it, which was doing work with multiple types of thread. The purple, these are little French knots that are going around here. The purple that you see here is a prismatic holograph purple thread.
Like a fairly strong tinsel, how you could take a strand of tinsel and stretch it. We had no idea how complicated it was going to be.
On any of this.
On any of this.
If you like the insane work that Sandy and the little bit of me have been doing for the past month or so and want to see more of this, please give this video a like. It does so much to help spread these videos to more people and helps grow the channel.
There are so many more Barbie looks, and I am all about doing this again.
If you have a specific Barbie look that you want Sandy to try next time, please make it something simpler than this. Let us know in the comments.
And if you want to get your own Smarty t-shirt, which we are wearing right now, you can visit myladydisdain.com, and they are available now.
This isn't the end. There are 3 other fantastic projects.
So make sure you check out Magical Girl Kit Kat Gaming, Smart Doll Sewing with Joe, and Beth Ramsden for their videos.
You'll find links in the description, or you know, you could just click this playlist right here and keep watching all of them.
It's as easy as that. So that's all for us, folks. Take care. Bye.
Bye. I wasn't prepared.
I was trying to have some energy.
Okay, at the end.
I've had energy the whole time.